I cannot tell if I'm live. You guys, if you guys can let me know either in the YouTube, the trading room. My YouTube platform has changed. I used to click a button and go live, and that button is gone, so I can't tell if it just automatically is launching me live. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to figure out this new update. Good morning, everybody. This is Jack Gleason with Startuptrading.com. It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2020. I think it's Wednesday. This morning, we had the ADP non-farm employment change and Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda speaking. Half an hour after the bell, we have ISM non-manufacturing PMI. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. There is a very big move in crude oil, and I've titled this video "Oil 4 days positive in a row," which means there's a daily leg start, which occurred yesterday, and we had a continuation here today, so we will cover that. And then, as Perry mentioned in his video, at 2 a.m., we're going to have the Bank of England monetary policy report, policy summary, official bank rate. Basically, that's equivalent to their FOMC for the Bank of England. So obviously that's going to be a big mover for the pound and possibly for the markets in general. And then Bank of England Governor Bailey will be speaking at 7:30. So let's take a look here. I do want to start off with oil and just kind of talk about where it is. I'm going to look at the daily chart. We have completed, or we are now completing, this traditional that last tested off that springboard. I think that was on Thursday or Friday of last week. Actually, it was Thursday. There was this retest of the 38% retracement of this traditional we've been in. Now we've completed that traditional, and we do have a higher time frame target still above us, 45.14. This is a daily leg start, so all a leg start is, this is the startup trading indicators, is a 3-bar move. So anytime you have a 3-bar move, 1, 2, 3, usually it's the indication of momentum on that specific time frame. Now they're not as common on the daily chart as they are on smaller time frames. Obviously you have a lower number of occurrences, but you can see 1, 2, 3, and then here we get this 4th day. The last time we had a daily leg start goes all the way back to June. So we've been inside this very tight consolidation in oil, and we're really breaking up back to the levels that we had broken down from during the whole oil debacle when people stopped driving. Now, there's a couple of possibilities in two different variations of extensions. We have to remember that we have oil inventory today, and that is a volatility event for the price of oil. Number one, on the daily chart, the previous daily traditional high from 41.63 to high does become a valid anchor, and I'm just highlighted what is the 50% retracement of that. I would consider that to be the most solid support level. Now, we also have an hourly sequence, which is more aggressive. In this 42.08 to high has already traded its 38% retracement, and you can see we have a reaction there. Also, I do have this daily trend line here. It is from the swing high of June 23rd to the high of July 21st, and I don't draw a lot of trend lines. I only draw ones that I think are pretty significant, and they do, they just add a layer of support resistance when you're taking a trade. So you can see that 38% retracement actually lined up directly with that daily trend line. So both of these are valid variations of setups. The one that's traded has a 43.86 profit target. We could still complete that profit target and then come back into that daily anchor, but we are bullish above a 42.35 here in oil. So I'll move on to the S&P 500. Back out to the higher time frame. Our higher time frame profit targets are 33.72, and this is based on the pullback of June 15th. They've been in play for quite some time. We also have a higher time frame profit target based on the pullback that occurred on July 24th. That pullback target is 33.27, and we're right about 13 points away from that target completing. Now, yesterday, what we held in the overnight session, I was really hoping we'd get down to the 50, but we didn't. was this extension from 32.29 half to high. Now this traded in the overnight session on Sunday, completed targets. We were going into the morning with the same extension to extension that broke, and there was actually a 50% retracement short that was participated on the morning, but it broke out. And what it broke out from, once we break the opposing 61, we determine what the sequence is that held to give us an upside target. Well, the sequence that held was just that same anchor new high, which came into its pullback at 8 o'clock in the morning East Coast time. Now we have an extension to extension again. So this is very similar setup to what we had going in. We blew through targets, and then we had a new extension. That new extension went sideways, and then we failed it after like 10 hours of trading it. Same thing here. We have this extension to extension. If that extension to extension does not hold, if we do not stay above 33.05, then I would expect the exact same situation we had yesterday, where it's just a pullback down into that higher time frame anchor. Okay, so bullish above a 33.0575, and if we crack 33.0575, I would look for this same anchor new high, and the 38% retracement is 32.86 half. 32.86 half. Moving on to the Dow. I'm going to go to let me go to a daily chart, just talk about that higher time frame upside target. Same thing, the Dow had a pullback on June 15th that is upside target is 29,099. Dow's a little bit of a lagger here as far as the strength goes. Now, we had a 50% retracement for the week. The Dow and the Nasdaq held a different variation of a setup, and it was just a halfway back long for the week, which is just a low of the week to the high of the week. Now, once we confirmed those profit targets, there was a 50% retracement long for the day. That 50% retracement long for the day has led to our current sequence, which is the extension from the high of 26,705 to high. Okay, and that would be the current extension we are inside of. You can see it's front run on its 50, and then we have a perfect test of its 38% retracement. If we get a breakdown here, there's multiple levels and variations of support. Realistically, we're completely bullish. Everything above 26,634 is just a different variation of bullish setups. I'm going to just mark this with the purple line. And then, so I would just be watching this extension, which is what the sequence currently is. And if we do move below that extension, the next support level would be a 26,757. Moving on to the NASDAQ, which had also the 50% retracement for the week. It was just a low of the Sunday night open to high. Now we've completed that target to the tick. And we have our next traditional in that case. That's an 11,063. Now, another important level I want you guys to be aware of is this profit target I've been talking about for a few months in the NASDAQ. It's kind of amazing to see it here. It's always surprising when these things hit, especially as fast as this one has. We had the pullback from the 2016 low to the 2020 high. That's basically where we came into during the crash. That negative 23% profit target is like 50 points above where we're currently trading and 10 points above the overnight highs. So not that this is by any means a level too short, but I do think that we will see some profit taking at or around that level. Hold on, I gotta get my dog. Or she will start barking her head off in the middle of this video. The 11,155. So just be aware that profit target is above there. I wouldn't stretch for too much of a move above there. We'd probably need to get a bigger pullback. Also, something to be aware of, the traditional that traded on Friday completed its profit target. Now that we're through it, there's also that variation, that extension, okay, which would be the more conservative pullback. And everything above this 61.8 I'm actually going to start marking trend breaks with purple boxes. Would be a bullish setup. Moving, did CL. Moving on to the USD JPY, we have reverse trend here. What the sequence we came off of, I was looking for this potential full halfway back, but the high from June 30th to low dipped in initially, but now that we have held it, we can go back and pay very close attention to us coming out of this high. Yesterday we had a traditional in the overnight session. That traditional completed its profit target, and then we have the high of Tuesday to low. It's got a 105.34 profit target here for the USD JPY. Now we did break the trend to the downside. This was a pretty aggressive move up. One of these levels I'm going to pay attention to, if we get down to this negative, I'm going to say like negative 100 into this zone, really where this hourly leg start began, I would look for a consolidation pattern that could potentially lead to just a counter trend rally. But right now we are in a bearish trend below this 105.92. Moving on to the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar had retested a long and a front run and has completed here. Now, if we go through these highs in the Aussie dollar, we're actually going to begin an extension from July 22nd high. So I'm going to draw that up right now because I do think it's a possible variation. Otherwise, there is the anchor from 75.51, which would be the one I would look to participate on, and that would be, the level is a 71.93. That would be my level of interest right down here. Moving on to the euro, which is just going straight up as the dollar crashes. We just keep getting aggressively bid in an extension series. At this point in time, we have broken out of this short, and our higher time frame upside target is a 120.23. Go to Europe. It's getting very expensive here soon. The pound, which had front runner traditional, made a new high. I'd like to see a retest of that traditional, the 130.51. Also, with that GBP news, the higher time frame support levels 130.15 and a 129.68. This thing can move. USD CAD going straight down. Now, we have two possibilities here. One, there was the 50% retracement that traded totally and completely through its targets. And then we also had this higher time frame I believe it was this higher time frame halfway back that's blown through targets. I'm going to use just the series from this week, the low from Tuesday to low, to give me a 132.97 resistance level here in the USD CAD. Gold is going to the moon. This literally only long setups. I have two variations of longs right now. You can even there's like multiple. Honestly, there's multiple variations of longs where we have so many different pullback points that go to target. You begin to have many variations of long setups. One of them, just the traditional sequence from the low of Thursday to the high. We have that next traditional at 2018. Okay, that's the cleanest move in my opinion, but there's also an extension from Wednesday's high to high, and you have the 50%, which lines up with today's low, and the 38.2 is at 2036. So when there's like multiple variations, it's super bullish, but you really just have to be taking those free trades, and be aware of how, we're not going to know which one's going to be the support level that takes us higher. So just getting in those trades and hopefully getting them free is really the key. And then silver also is going to $50, as I've been mentioning since March. But we have higher time frame upside targets of $28 based on the futures pullback on July 28th, which was an overnight session. It was a 14% range in silver overnight. It's huge. It's insane. That'd be like the equivalent. 14% in gold would be like gold moving $300 overnight. So to kind of wrap your head around that, that's huge. We have the high from the Sunday night open to high. It's a 26.47. Is that 38% retracement? That is the trade location I'm looking for. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for my morning trade plan. I see a couple of people are having issues with Max. I don't know. There's something going on with my YouTube, because normally I click live, but it's just been taking me live every morning. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to try to look into those technical difficulties here. But I will share my levels with everybody in this room. If you enjoyed this content, please give this video a thumbs up for me, guys. Feel free to share with anybody who you might think would find it useful. And if you're not in the Startup Trading Trade Room, click the link below. Check it out. It's a great community. A lot of great traders. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the room.